Welcome to another presentation from the CV Academics Foundation, home of the AMP Honors Program.
Hi, AMP Honors Program. My name is Taylor LaChapelle, and I'm one of your super mentors. I'm here today with one of our advisory board members, Dr. Dawn Beaulieu. She's a gastroenterologist. And why don't we start by I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, Taylor. So my name is Dawn Beaulieu. I am a gastroenterologist here at Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee. I am a subspecialist. I focus on inflammatory bowel disease, so I take care of patients that have Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis. I also dabble in a little Clostridium difficile, and I do fecal transplants for severe recurrent C. diff. And I'm also a certified functional medicine gastroenterologist, and I use functional medicine as adjunct care to my IBD patients here in clinic.
Wow. So what originally got you interested in gastroenterology? I know some people might not think that's, they might think that's maybe a little
glamorous.
Yeah,
glamorous. Play with poop, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I was just interested, what drew you to this field or this specialty?
Sure, yeah. So I went to medical school thinking I was going to be a pediatrician. I volunteered in the children's hospital. I loved kids, and I thought that's what I was going to do. And I went to med school to become a kid doctor. But then when I did my rotation in peds, I hated it, unfortunately. So then I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to take care of adults, but I don't know what. And so I went into internal medicine, because if you go into internal medicine, you pretty much can jump off from there into any subspecialty. And I knew that I didn't like to be in the operating room. So that's the first thing you always have to decide. Do you like to be in the OR? Or do you like to be outside of the OR? And that kind of branches off your decisions. So I did my residency in internal medicine, and GI, just the subject itself just made sense to me. I just caught on really quickly. And when I did my rotation, and I took care of a lot of GI patients, I liked all the subject matter, and I particularly liked all the patients that had inflammatory bowel disease. I get bored really easy, so I don't want to do the same thing every day, day after day. So if I was in clinic every day, I'd be bored. If I was doing procedures every day, I got bored. And GI gives you procedures in clinic, outpatient, inpatient, so you really can kind of get a lot of different facets of medical care. And then I like inflammatory bowel disease because I wanted to be able to take care of my patients over long periods of time. So I have patients now that are parents and their kids, or parents and their grandparents. And we establish a relationship, and I take care of them over probably as long as I'll be practicing. So I like that continuity of care.
Yeah, that's really cool. So do you work with all ages of patients then?
So as an internal medicine doctor, so you typically work with adults, so it's 18 and older. Sometimes I'll take care of 17-year-olds that are coming to Vanderbilt or to Nashville for school, but typically the youngest age that an internal medicine, adult physician takes care of is 17 or 18.
Okay, right, that makes sense. So have you had any, I guess, most memorable cases in your career?
I think there's so many, it's not, I can't think of one that I was like, oh my gosh, but I feel like every month there's a, oh my gosh, something surprises me, or I don't know if they're appropriate for the internet. I'm a gastroenterologist, so there's lots of things that I've seen that we may just not need to share with the community. But I have lots of good radiographic images of things, as you can imagine, and those are pretty memorable. But in regards to my IBD world, I think anytime that I have so many memorable patients, because anytime they are able to reach remission and not be sick anymore and go back to work, or be able to have a baby, or get married, or just be able to go out and not be afraid to leave their house, those are all wins to me. So pretty much every day I'm lucky I get a memorable moment.
That's really awesome. That sounds very special. You mentioned in your member profile that self-care is very important for this profession. What is your favorite self-care activity or routine to do? Or is there something that you see a lot of doctors do to kind of take care of their mental health?
Yeah, so I mean, to being a physician is super stressful, right? Like there's pressure on us every day, and you're taking care of thousands of lives in addition to yourself. And if you're married or have a partner, you have that partner. If you have kids, then you've got kids. So you're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. So it's really important to take time for yourself. So for me, finding a break in the middle of the week in between my busy clinic or endoscopy practice to take a walk with a friend. I try to exercise every other day and like be able to like go to an exercise class. Going out to dinner once a week with friends or with my husband is also really important. Or even just like taking time to watch a really bad show on Netflix in the middle of the day to just kind of like, decompensate and just relax is what I like to do. So usually it evolves around eating or shopping or walking.
Yeah, that sounds pretty relatable. I know when I need a break, I put on a Netflix show while I'm eating lunch or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So you also mentioned that you enjoy traveling with your family. What are some of the places that you've been to?
Some places that I've been to. So, well, we really haven't traveled anywhere in the past year, right? So we've all been kind of homebound. Prior to that, I enjoyed we went on a wedding anniversary trip to London with two of our best friends, which I really liked. I enjoy Paris a lot, so that's one of my favorite places to go. I've gone to an amazing like house in the Dominican Republic, which was a great area. When I was in medical school for a month, one of my fourth year rotations was in Costa Rica. So I strongly recommend away rotations your fourth year of med school. So yeah, I lived in Costa Rica for a month and learned medical Spanish and volunteered in the clinic and then also had fun on the weekends. So I would say Costa Rica. And also for a medical rotation, I went to Peru and got to go to Machu Picchu. So that was like also, I guess, a favorite trip.
That's really cool. Is that common for out of country rotations during medical school?
Yeah, I think so. It depends. I think it just depends on where you are. So, like when I went to Peru, I traveled with a pediatric cardiothoracic surgeon, and so they were a charity organization, and you apply for it, and then they would pick you, and you'd go with them to assist. So, I think if it's something that you're interested in doing to going abroad, just when you get to school, ask around.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of programs that you can do through your school that you have to like set it up and get it going. But yeah, because there's a lot of electives your fourth year. So that was one of my electives.
That's really cool. That sounds like a really great experience.
Yeah, it was because once you start internship, like you just can't get off that crazy train for a really long time. So I strongly recommend traveling like your fourth year of med school.
That's some good advice. So, and then I had one more question for you since you live in Nashville. I've never been, but I've seen a lot of people like to vacation there. So what is your favorite hobby or thing to do in Nashville?
Well, it is Nashville, so probably the best thing to do here is to listen to live music. Mm-hmm. So, we're the country music capital, but also we've kind of expanded to be all music. So if you enjoy live music, there's concerts every day, every weekend prior to COVID. But kind of like listening to music at the Ryman, there's an outdoor amphitheater, every single bar downtown has some amazing musician playing. So listening to live music is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the students on AMP-HB about your career or maybe self-care or anything like that?
Yeah, I think the one thing I want to share is just like, don't give up. And if that's what you want to do, no matter what obstacles stand in your way, just keep pushing forward and try to ask for advice and get help with your friends, your family, your teachers, everyone around you. And not everything works out the way that you think it's going to work out. But if you do your best, it's going to work out the way it's supposed to.
This has been a presentation of the CV Academics Foundation, home of the AMP Honors Program.